camp, what I would think about as a player is I need to be one of the best players here.
We've already seen Morris pull the trigger once from distance. He's done it again! And this time, it's into the top corner. What an absolute scorcher from Aiden Morris.
Luna looking for the corner, and he ties the game at 1.
I need to make sure that I am the creme de la creme of these 25 players.
It's Tolkien. Oh, my word! How about it? It's the boy from Chatham, New Jersey.
117th minute, Acosta hooks it into the traffic, a free header, and it's a goal! The United States has scored! Miles Robinson!
Battling, fighting, grit, determination, pride, and heart surely should be the winner for the United States.
Welcome back. Well, on Saturday, the U.S. men's national team will face Slovenia in a friendly at Toyota Stadium in San Antonio, 3 p.m. Eastern on TNT. And right now, we are absolutely thrilled to welcome in Brian White, this is your first call-up to the U.S. men's national team. Brian, congratulations. What's camp been like? What has this whole experience been like for you?
Yeah, thank you. It's been, I think it's a culmination of a lot of hard work throughout the years, and honestly, a dream come true to be part of a national camp and getting the opportunity to hopefully get an appearance in the game on Saturday.
Brian, how are the vibes in camp? Because I know that there's a lot of young guys who are also, this is their first call-up as well. So has there been a lot of sort of friendly competition going on?
Yeah, it's been fun to get to know a lot of the guys. Obviously, a lot of young guys, and they have a lot of them have been together through youth national camps, and it's been fun to see those relationships and build new relationships as well.
Brian, you've had a career year, 15 goals, 5 assists in MLS this season. What were your expectations getting your first call up, and then how much instruction have you had since you've been in camp? Because I remember my first January camp, it was a lot to process, the competition, you want to impress the coach, yet I learned a lot. What have you learned so far being in January camp?
Yeah, I think for me, my expectation was it's going to be a jump in the level. Obviously, it's still a lot of young guys, but still they're very young players, very good players, and everyone comes into camp with this desire to impress the coaches. So the level is just ramped up a bit more. And for me, it's been a great learning experience to be able to get in front of the national team coaches, understand a little bit more what it takes to be a striker at this level, at the international level, and hopefully it's just stuff I can add to my game going forward.
Brian, you add your name to the list of young players from New Jersey who have made their way to the U.S. men's national team. We have a docuseries here on our channel called $1 Billion Goal, which details some of the 94 guys. Add that to the list, some of the players we've had on the show, the John Tolkien, obviously Johnny Cardozo is also from Jersey. You're from Flemington. What do you think it is about maybe growing up in New Jersey or playing soccer, starting out in New Jersey, that makes you guys all so good? Why is it such a football factory?
Yeah, I don't know. I think, I was fortunate enough to get into the Player Development Academy from an early age, and I think for that, it was a great club for me to stay for 10 years, and then, getting involved with the Red Bulls early on as well. And I think it's maybe the nature of guys who come from New Jersey. They want to play and they want to compete. They're hard-nosed on and off the field, so I think it just adds a bit to the players for sure.
It doesn't hurt that you went to Duke to play in the ACC,
You got to go through Jersey.
Hey, the ACC.
The question is prefaced by a guy from New Jersey asking the question.
Again, I'm from Newark.
You're from Newark. Okay, never mind. Brian, from the strikers, the forwards rather, in the national team right now, nobody has had an official cap. How much do you feel like this could potentially be a dress rehearsal to kind of, make Berhalter think there's a possibility that I can get called up in future camps? Do you feel it that way?
Yeah, I think anytime you get, the opportunity to be in front of the coaching staff, to wear the badge, I think it's a chance to prove yourself and show that you deserve to be involved in the team. And hopefully, through the work I put in all camp and the work hopefully get in during the game, I could prove to the staff that I could be an asset to the team going forward.
Brian, you're the leading American goal scorer in MLS with 15 last season. I don't know if you were aware, but you've earned that top spot. So, this feels like a very deserved recognition for you. I want to ask you about being coached by, right now, Greg Berhalter, but also Vanni Sartini, who seem to be two very different characters. So what's it like? We'll get into Vanni later. We love him. He's a friend of the show. But what has been, how as a player, how do you adapt to, what is probably two very different personalities and two very different coaching styles?
Yeah, I don't know if it takes much of an adaptation. I think, as a player, you want to go in to any camp, any game, ears open, mind open, trying to take in any information you can. And whichever way that's delivered, you do your best to take it in. And it's been great to, get involved with Greg and the coaching staff and just see what they have to say, what they can teach me as a forward and as a player. And it's been a great experience so far.
Brian, what's it like in the locker room when your coach sings on stage with Nickelback of all bands? What was that roasting like in the group chat?
Honestly, it wasn't much of a roasting. I think we thought he crushed it. He's an awesome guy, Vanni, and it's been great playing for him for the past couple of years. And I'm looking forward to getting back out there with the team and seeing what we can do this year.
Brian, where do you think you've developed the most as a striker? I remember you coming in as a young player under Jesse Marsh in the Red Bulls Academy. You're playing, under Bradley Wright Phillips. You got to see him play. And then you fast forward, you're the top American goal scorer in Major League Soccer. Where do you think you've really grown the most?
I think, obviously playing under Brad was a great experience, just learning from him. The way he's able to get shots off in the box, I think that was something I tried to continue to emulate. And I think my game revolves around being dangerous inside the area, getting on the ends of crosses, and just continuing to develop that part. And then I think recently adding more into the buildup of the game, being able to hold the ball up, bring players in, I think it contributed a lot to not only my success, but I think hopefully the team's success this past year.
Brian, I wanted to know a little bit more about you as a soccer fan growing up. We know a lot about you as a player, but for example, you're 27. What was the first World Cup you remember vividly with the U.S. in the World Cup? 2006, I would imagine?
Yeah, 2006 when Italy won.
Nice. What is, who was your U.S. men's national team idol growing up? Is there somebody that you specifically remember that's oh, wow, I want to be like that guy?
Clint Dempsey was always my idol growing up. I remember there's this YouTube video that I found years ago. It's like an 8 or 10 minute long YouTube video with edits and motivational speeches in it with Clint Dempsey, and I used to watch that all the time.
Oh,
wow.
Nice. That's
I
epic.
love that.
All right, I'm gonna tell
we're
Clint.
Definitely. Brian, it feels like the Vancouver Whitecaps and also you as a player are kind of underrated, or just one of the things you kind of fly under the radar a little bit. Do you feel that, number one, considering the output that you have put out there, but do you embrace that role? Do you kind of like being somebody that maybe can sneak up on teams and do some damage?
Yeah, I think it's nice being out in Vancouver where you don't have to get all the media attention. You don't have to do all the spotlight stuff. So it's nice. You could just go about your business and work hard for the team. I think as a team, we've had pretty good seasons. Obviously, we didn't make the playoffs 2022, but I think we have a very good team that's able to perform well, and hopefully this year we'll make a run in the playoffs. But yeah, sometimes it's a little frustrating when the team's not getting the recognition it deserves, but I think we kind of revel in that underdog role where we can just go about our business and perform well.
Brian, during my time in MLS, you always have some of those players that just give you that challenge that you're coming into the match, you're like, man, this center back, I know I'm going to take some bumps and bruises. Is there a player that you look forward to that when you're going up against a certain center back in Major League Soccer that this guy always gives me some trouble?
Yeah, I think for me it's I don't usually get nervous or anxious about going because I know it's going to be a fight, and I kind of enjoy that part of the game, to be honest. But when Jackson was in camp, I was like this. I remember playing this guy. He's big, he's strong, he's just a handful to deal with. Took a couple elbows in the head because I'm just a little bit shorter than him. But I do enjoy that side of the game for sure.
Who gave you trouble?
Nah.
Well, you asked the question. I know you got somebody. I know you got somebody in your
just popped
head.
in your head, Charlie.
No one.
He'll tell us.
Oh,
He'll tell us, Cam.
Brian, we'll email you the name he says, or we'll text you.
No,
this is ridiculous.
the one player that usually I knew I was going to get hit was always Bobby Boswell off the ball, and then Jamison Olave with Red Bulls. He was just such a physically imposing center back that I loved that challenge, but I knew, okay, this is just going to be an absolute battle.
All right, thank you. Thank you for being honest, Chuck. Brian, one last question for you. You've scored a whole bunch of goals before. If you are to score in your first cap for the U.S. men's national team, have you thought about a goal celly? What are we doing?
No, I'm not. I don't really pre-plan celebrations. I'm kind of off the rip and just see what happens.
Oh, you got a couple in your head though.
Organic.
Come on.
You ain't at home practicing the dab in front of the mirror, nothing like that.
Amazing. Well, Brian, congratulations again on your first camp. Good luck on Saturday, and good luck this MLS season. Can't wait to watch.
Thanks, guys.